So Limpopo Premier Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, together with the Public Works MEC in the province, Ernest, Rachoene, have officially launched the road repair project. The Dikgerekgere Service Delivery program aims to revitalise the province's road infrastructure. And let's now speak to the Premier about how it's going to happen. Premier, a good morning to you. We haven't spoken since you've become Premier, so I want to start with congratulations. And of course, if you've adjusted into the role of Premier of Limpopo and no longer Health MEC.
Morning, Naledi, and morning to all your viewers, and thank you for the congratulatory note. There was no way one wouldn't adjust because the citizens themselves has made sure one adjust. I'm saying this because on a daily basis, now it's no longer about calling that we don't have medicine, that we have been waiting at the clinic. It's about this village, the taps, it's dry, there's no water. Come and see this road, how is it? Premier, I've graduated, I'm unemployed. Premier, a child has been raped, what are we doing? Premier, a school has been vandalized. So you can see that the society itself has nicely welcomed me with the real challenges that are facing them on the ground. Yeah. So we had to adjust.
A lot of challenges that you need to be tackling in that province, and it's a province with quite a few of them. One of them, of course, being road infrastructure, and we've seen, real complaints around the road infrastructure in Limpopo. Some of it, some even saying that it's cost us lives. And so this road repair project that you launched yesterday, tell us about it and what you hope it achieves. Also timeframes and budgets, if you will, Premier.
Naledi, what we need to appreciate is that Limpopo, unlike other provinces like Gauteng, where your complaints mainly would be on potholes, we have got a total network of around more than just over 20,000 kilometers, the entire province. Now, of those, it's only 32%, that is around above 6,000. that are either tarred or have got pavement. And meaning 68% it's gravel. Now the biggest challenge is that you have got this number of roads that are gravel but which are not being maintained, which becomes a nightmare to an extent that teachers struggle to access the schools because there's no proper road. We're talking about a proper gravel road to can access a school. Ambulances can't even access clinics because of that challenge. Traditional leaders, which we met, some of them even yesterday from Waterberg district, are also raising that even their own royal council, where the people must come and report and get some of the services there, they are also facing such challenge. People can't even move from one village to another. There's no connectivity in terms of road network on villages. And the biggest challenge is that they are not being maintained. So the Dikgerekgere Wednesday, it's simple to say we don't need to wait to be informed that there is a funeral at this particular village and the hash can't even access the household. You have to get people to carry the coffin for 500 meters where the hash could be. Equally, access to the graveyards themselves, there is such a challenge. So let's really start with the basic. When we see a number of protests and our people demanding tar road, it's because they believe that it is only tar road that can provide them with access to roads. Whereas if you have got gravel roads that are well maintained, that are well re-gravelled from time to time, your people will then be able to access. We were able to drive on those roads that we have been able to re-gravel yesterday. Yeah. And even some of your journalists were commenting to say, really, if the roads could be maintained like this, we would not be seeing a number of protests. So we felt, let's not wait for the funeral to re-gravel. Let's maintain even the rural roads on a daily basis until such time we're able to reach to them with either tar or the pavement. Right. And lastly, we are saying this road, it should not be us at the province alone. Hence, you saw us with the local mayor and the district mayor, because there are provincial roads, there are national roads, and the local roads. We're saying the local road must also, municipality must come up with this program so that they link up with our program.
Right. You know, it's interesting because I think about prior to the elections, there was a group called the Limpopo Concern Team representing, I think it was 5 villages that said no road, no vote. So roads, a big talking point. And interesting to learn that 68% of the roads there are gravel. But let's talk about this, Premier. There's been a lot of questions around the team that you have surrounded yourself with, certainly in your executive. I mean, as you go about these projects, you obviously need your Treasury MEC to help you allocate those funds. What do you say to those that have raised concern around your appointment of Kabo Mahwai as a Treasury MEC, despite being dismissed in 2021 for that? I think it's 118 irregular expenditure at DIRCO for land requisition in New York. So there is that reputation that your Treasury MEC has. What do you say to that?
I think we did understand and we did expect it. That any average citizen who reads a newspaper and see an article will be concerned. However, we are saying from the position where we are, we have gone through and had to go deeper. And the information that is at our disposal, we can reassure South Africans that we have done due diligence. We have gone through the Auditor General report. We have gone through the internal audit report regarding that case. We have further gone to the portfolio committee that has even gone to visit the site, which even in their presentations were very clear. And they were even on public media pronouncing a report that I would say in a layman's language tend to vindicate Mr. Mawai, because he was not even there when this tender was appointed. So we don't want to go to the details of the case. What comforts us is the fact that the court has made pronouncement on this particular case. And if you go and look at the judgment, you would realize that sometimes employer-employee relations can tend to disadvantage you as an employee when actually you are just at times being a scapegoat of the wrong things that might have happened. We don't want to defend him, but we just simply want to reassure the people of Limpopo that we have done due diligence. We have appointed him based on the facts that were on our table.
Right.
And we are saying, let's give him a space together with the team and see what he would do in terms of service delivery to the people of Limpopo.
And Premier, would you say the same then for the Social Development MEC, Florence Radzilane? And I raise this because we've just been looking at the conviction of the mastermind in the VBS Bank scandal, jailed for, 495 years. It's quite a sentence. Florence Radzilane, those that do not have confidence in her leadership?
We can equally, what we can say also here is that the ANC has got its own guidelines in terms of who cannot hold a public office. We have got the integrity committee that sits and be able to guide us that this one can face a step aside. MEC for Social Development has not been instructed by our integrity committee to step aside. She is part of the 48 names that were presented to the Premier to appoint different MECs. We don't want a situation wherein Limpopo has got its own rules based on individuals' feeling. We want to follow the same guideline. Remember, it is only the African National Congress that has got policies where its members, when they are charged, they step aside. We've got members in other political parties who are charged and facing cases, but are still holding a position. So We don't do that as the
Okay.
ANC. And hence I'm saying it will be unfair. You see, if today or tomorrow,
Right.
any of my MECs get charged, they will definitely step aside, or I will tell them to resign, because I would be following the policies that I was part of the conference that adopted them. It's unfair to expect me to implement my own policy. And lastly, we must also remember all the 48 members of legislature in Limpopo. They've gone through you remember, former President Mutlante was leading a team that was doing the selections of members of the legislature, which I can reassure you, all of them have gone through the vetting, they've gone through the interviews, and we further also, before we appoint them as MECs, did our own due diligence on them.
Okay. Premier, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. And of course, Premier there of Limpopo, Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, speaking to us as well about the Dikgerekgere Wednesday service delivery program that was launched yesterday. Really is a road repair program that the Premier has kicked off, and we'll be keeping a close eye on more of the work that she does in Limpopo. All right.